Donald Trump was such a disaster as president that he had people remembering George W. Bush fondly. Likewise, Trump was such a dim-witted, mean-spirited meathead that the memory of W as not all that bright faded from memory too. But Bush was frequently a chaos agent as well, most notably invading Iraq because Afghanistan harbored a Saudi terrorist. So yeah, if you're still trying to figure that one out in the cold light of history, welcome to the club. But one of the minor chaotic missteps W committed as president was nominating White House counsel Harriet Miers for a seat on the Supreme Court. His only reason? Miers and Bush went back a spell in Texas. She was thoroughly unqualified for the job, and even Republicans told Bush that they would not support a Supreme Court nominee just because she was his friend. As a result, Bush went to his leadership team and they nominated Sam I Am Alito. And the striking thing about that choice is that Alito is a two-time second choice. Bush's first choice was John Roberts, but he switched Roberts to Chief Justice, then Miers, then Alito. So it's clear that Alito was always second string here, which is noteworthy because there is no one on the court as arrogant and self-possessed as Alito. Now, in his mind, the arrogance is well earned, having gone to Princeton University and Yale Law School, which, let's face it, was a lot easier to get into back in those days. Alito's confirmation hearings would lay down a template for how Federalist Society conservative ideologues can pass confirmation. According to the record, Alito professed reluctance to commit to any type of ideology, stating he would act as an impartial referee. Yeah, I'll give you time to laugh there. He also said he would look at abortion with an open mind. Can't hold that one in. Everyone knew he was BSing, but there's no way to prove otherwise, so it had to suffice. The biggest irony, though, is when Alito stated that he rejected the use of foreign legal materials in the Constitution. Except there we are in his majority opinion overturning Roe, using pre-modern English writings as his justification. And in his minority opinion just recently, he used 17th century England. A self-described practical originalist, Alito is just another right-wing corporatist hack who will twist any concept or precedent to make a conservative ruling that will empower the Republican agenda. In the Trump immunity case, Alito pondered with great concern about protecting future presidents from criminal prosecution. Not Trump. No. Alito's lofty concern is the precedent of current presidents prosecuting former presidents. As if the rule of law in this country is that weak. Now, behind the philosophical musing and arrogance is nothing less than a guy pushing a conservative agenda that includes eroding the separation of church and state. Hobby Lobby. So today, the New York Times is breaking a story that shows the degree of right-wing fanaticism that Alito holds on to. Now, earlier in the week, the Times broke a story about Alito flying the flag upside down at his house, a symbol of support for the January 6th insurrection, where the insurrectionists held upside-down flags, as well as Confederate flags and Trump flags. Let's not forget whose business they were attending to. Well, the mighty Justice Alito, philosopher laureate of the Supreme Court, did what any red-blooded, highly intelligent, manly man would do. He blamed his wife. Taking responsibility for one's actions has never been a Republican strong point. My wife was involved in a squabble with a neighbor. Interestingly, notice how Alito subordinates his wife to the everyday humdrum of life while he, the towering intellect, remains above the fray. Only with the latest Times report, that turd ain't gonna fly no more. The Times obtained several photographs of the Appeal to Heaven flag flying at the Alito Summer Beach House on the Jersey Shore. The Times states that, like the inverted U.S. flag, this was carried by rioters at the Capitol on January 6th. Also known as the pine tree flag, it dates back to the Revolutionary War, but it largely fell into obscurity until recent years, and is now a symbol of support for former President Donald Trump and for a religious strand of the Stop the Steal campaign, pushing to remake American government in Christian terms. Yeah, Alito is their guy. Now, interestingly, some Republican senators like Mitt Romney and Lindsey Graham were already admonishing Alito over the upside-down flag. Romney even went so far as to say that the Senate should look into it. This time, it ain't for a couple of days, and Alito can't really blame it on the wife. Sure, he can fall back to saying, just a Revolutionary War flag, but he should have to make that justification under an investigation. Democrats, in particular, need to push for this investigation because Democrats need to get serious about campaigning on expanding the court. Yes, both Thomas and Alito are corrupt partisans, and they both need to be impeached, but that bar is too high in today's congressional alignment. What is achievable, though, is for Democrats to make clear their intention of rescuing this country by expanding the court. There are already 13 circuit courts of appeal. The Supreme Court should be comprised of as many justices as there are circuit courts. It makes logical, structural sense, but more importantly, it gives Democrats something to campaign on. It makes overturning Roe and Citizens United and gun control all something that voters can take care of now in this election. Let's go, congressional Democrats. It's time to pick up the ball and run with it. Or should I say, it's time to capture the flag. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.